clarity. Let's see. I'm reading you guys what emotional balance and the personal power to show up effectively in life and relationships. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I am going to have one of our newest members who is so amazing, an amazing mental health therapist who works with women that are going through anxiety, all the things, high performers, all of that stuff that in this day and age we get caught up in a lot. And so, super excited to have her on here. Her name is Biance Solitaire. I see she's here. And I am going to request for her to join us. I am Michelle Fletcher Network, which is a community of natural, science-based. Hey, Bianca!
We did it! We did
It's
it!
nice of you. You just got to say it as if it already happened, right?
That's right.
This is our third attempt. And so that means this is going to be a great conversation because whenever I have issues going live with someone, I'm like, that means something is trying to keep us from sharing this message, but not today. Not
That's right.
today, devil. Oh my God. So I'm so excited to be speaking with Bianca, who is just such a wealth of knowledge and such a resource for women, high performers, people that need to learn how to balance emotions and all the stressors of everyday life today. You know, we've got a lot. I was thinking about it, Bianca, like the amount of input we have in our lives today compared to our parents is through the roof. Like they
Right.
didn't have the devices. You just had a house phone that rang occasionally, didn't ring off the hook. Like we are constant, our attention is being drawn to so many different things.
That's
And
right.
it has made life way more stressful than it used to be like just 30 years ago. So grateful for someone like you. Oh, and you're all blurred out. Like
What?
maybe your connection. Does it look blurry to you? Let me check.
No.
Hold on. Let me see if my how it looks on my laptop. I don't know.
It's
Uh
nice and clean on my side.
my gosh. Okay. So we're gonna keep going, even though you look like you're in, back in the day when someone was like testifying, but they didn't want people to see who they were.
Oh my God. Not on trial, Lord.
It's like it's trying to blur out your face so no one knows who's speaking.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
It's
That is
come
so
back.
strange. Okay.
This is a shame, guys, because Bianca is beautiful. You want to see her face. Okay. So, oh my gosh. Okay, now you're back. You're back.
Okay.
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 So let's get into it because when we got on initially, people were jumping on. I think this is a really great conversation. Um, and so can you first of all just share your background and then we're going to go into really some good stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yes. So I'm a licensed mental health therapist that works virtually with high performing women, like Michelle said, in 3 states, in Florida, in Ohio, and in Washington State. I work with those individuals on anxiety reduction, burnout recovery, boundary development, and interpersonal effectiveness, how to navigate the relationships that they're in at work, personal relationships, all of that, being able to communicate their feelings and needs clearly and effectively to be able to get more of them met more often, and also working with people, becoming more of a team player, knowing how to negotiate with people in order to have more of a joint venture working together, because we get farther together than we do apart. So I work with a lot of people in that space. My journey, man, I know I don't look it, but I've been in the field for almost 20 years now. It's been a wild ride. I've probably done thousands and thousands of hours of talks with people. But it all started in high school, actually, as I was a peer counselor then, as a senior,
Mm.
for freshmen students coming in trying to acclimate to the high school, environment. They're feeling new, they're feeling scared, they're not sure how to find their place there in this new world and how to find success there as they go through. And so that was my task. And I knew what it meant to very well at that point in my life, just with personal reasons, having to move several times in a short time span. I knew exactly what it felt like to be new and having to, walk through that time of feeling insecure, lack of confidence, having to make new friends. So having to be personally effective with people and being able to develop relationships that actually were good and healthy for me as I move forward. So I started in high school. Then I went on, did an undergraduate degree in psychology, did an internship with a clinical psychologist just to see if your girl really liked doing this, because it's one thing to read it and then to actually do it and be in the field is a whole other thing. So did that. Then went on, did a graduate degree, more internships, more field experience, got licensed, and then COVID happened. So that's where I found myself on the telehealth spectrum. I went from community mental health and being in nonprofit sector, so working face to face with people, to having how to connect with them through a screen. That was interesting, but she's still doing it and it's working out, and it's working out better than I ever anticipated because I was able to birth my business baby, Fearless Focused Mental Health. So we're here.
I love it. Bianca, I know you had mentioned you had jumped off the Wi-Fi. I wonder if you should jump back on the Wi-Fi because you are like so distorted. So let me see if that helps. I'm looking at it from my laptop.
Okay.
I'm hoping that having a local connection will help.
Okay, how is it now?
Still the same. That's so weird. Because I know you work virtually all the time. So it's crazy that the connection is like this.
Right. And I'm on Wi-Fi now, so, but you're not as clear now to me than before, which is so interesting.
Oh, I'm noticing, yeah, my clarity went down on my laptop. What is going on? Oh, now you're clear. Now
Okay.
you're clear.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, you have such an awesome, like it's amazing because it's like you found your calling very early on in high school from that experience with peer counseling. So look at that, parents. Those things do help out. Those experiences will help our children figure out what they like, what they don't like, the gifts they have, all of that. And so how cool that you found that gift and kind of knew what direction to take. Hey, Earth to Sky Wellness. I believe that is Brittany. Yes. Hey, Brittany. So, okay. So now you are helping women not only in the state of Florida, but in other states too, to really work through. Oh, we're both clear now. Look at that. We're cleared up. I'm a little tiny bit blurry, but you're clear.
Okay.
So you're helping women. Can you share with us like some of the issues or some of the things you're helping women through? What are some of the common ones that you help the
Big one right now is burnout and balance. So their emotional energy is being drained by work, by kids, by life, and I find that within the clientele that I see, because I see mainly women of color, Black women, Indian women, Asian women, they're coming to me and wondering how they got in that space of burnout. They missed all the signs, they were just going. They felt they put a lot of their coping mechanisms into work and found themselves to be successful until now they're burnt out and don't have energy for anything else, whether it be, taking care of themselves, going on a walk, going to the gym, playing with their kids, paying attention. There's a lot of brain fog that happens, memory issues that occur because of burnout, lack of tolerance for others,
Yeah.
irritability. You get easily irritated by little things, just because of that, because you don't have the emotional bandwidth to be able to work through those issues that's going on and to remain calm while you're trying to problem solve at the same time. So I see that a lot. I see a lot of anxiety, fears of the future, because they felt like I've done everything that I was supposed to do, and yet this is the result. Like, I'm still making life decisions at the grocery store. What's up with that? Or I keep finding myself in these patterns in relationships, and I still haven't found the one yet. And so I'm worried now about what that means for me and my future, especially if you're at the later stages of the reproductive age. You're wondering, what's going to happen? What can I possibly change? I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do and what TikTok told me, and it's not working.
TikTok. Oh gosh.
I get that a lot of self-diagnosis, and they come in and I have to pull out the good book, the DSM that actually has the actual correct diagnoses in there. And I provide education around that. It's like, okay, this is what society says is depression. This is actual clinical depression. This is what anxiety or general anxiety is. This is other ways that anxiety can show up. PTSD, like trauma, right? We hear that word thrown around a lot, and there's clinical trauma, and there's what we think or interpret as trauma. So there's different ways. So I do a lot of psychoeducation around these terms, helping people find more vocabulary to explain their feelings. There's more than happy, sad, mad, and glad. Like there's a deeper, a depth to our vocabulary that we don't really touch because we haven't really been taught feeling words. And so that when they come to me, that's what I'm teaching them, is to be able to explain themselves clearly what that feeling is, what that feeling is trying to tell you to do, and where your values are, because that's where your direction is. If you're living more in your values, then you will find more happiness because that's something that you care about. And so you want to collect that. Things you care about, doing things you care about, living in ways that you care about, so that you can feel more fulfilled in life. But we've learned to suppress that. We've learned to ignore, and even sometimes tell ourselves critically that it doesn't matter what we feel. The feelings aren't facts, and we need to just focus on the facts, when really we need both in order to be successful. So
That is so good, especially if you're from a Caribbean background. And I think, actually, I will say a Caribbean background or someone who's not from the US, because we were raised kind of with a tougher, like mentality, right? You
that's
just
right.
don't talk about things. You just suck it up and keep going and working hard and all the things. And now we're in this stage where burnout is a common topic, because even though we're doing all the things we know we were taught to do, we're living in a totally different environment. It's not the same as our parents. They had us, and usually, if you had siblings, we helped to take care of each other. And then they had work, and then maybe a social life, a little bit of a social life. But now we have so much on our plate.
That's right.
So much. I think of myself, like last year, I was burnt out. I will not even lie. I was burnt out. I was stressed out. I was having, like, for the first time in my life, was anxious and had anxiety in my life before. And it was environmental. And when I got rid of things that were not serving me, I may be doing a lot this year, but because it's in alignment, I don't feel burnt out.
That's
Like, you know, it's a big difference. So I feel everything you're saying right now is so, so good. So anyone on here, if you are feeling burnt out, if you're feeling some of the symptoms that Bianca mentioned, where you can't even focus, you can't remember things because so much is happening, you may want to have a discussion and talk through that and actually recognize it. Like the first step is recognizing it, right, Bianca?
That's right. That's right. You can't change something that you're not aware of. And so going into therapy, I know there's a lot of talk around therapy too. You know, it's still, as much as it's kind of accepted, it's still taboo, especially in, you know, Caribbean cultures. It's still taboo to talk about how you're really feeling. But through the talking is how you're going to become more aware of what's happening and what you're feeling and what's not working. Because that's the biggest thing. It's like, okay, I'm doing all of these things with the hopes that it's going to be successful and work, but it actually isn't working. It's working against me rather than for me. And so I'm just kind of surviving instead of thriving, which is possible to all of us if we are first aware. So
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So I guess some people are wondering after they get to learn, so they get more knowledge because of you sharing what certain things mean and opening up the vocabulary even more to understand not everything is trauma.
right.
I'm talking about that. I think I'm talking about that with you, Bianca. I was like, I feel like the word trauma is thrown away around way too much nowadays. Like,
Right.
yeah, we all have challenges in life. There's all like situations that happen, but I don't think everything is trauma. Like some people that have gone through true trauma, you could not compare your situation to that. Like, do you feel like that? Like this word is being like over emphasized nowadays?
Right. And just overused. I mean, because I have been in these conversations where it it's real, like true, not to dismiss anyone's in interpretation of trauma, but I've been in some serious conversations where they have dealt with some really gruesome things.
Mhm.
And so when I hear it, I'm looking at the scale and saying, all right, this is I've heard the worst, I feel. And so when you come in and you're talking about things that generally are more manageable, I have to help you orient around that because it's that piece. How you think about what you've gone through. If those thoughts are derailing you, if you think that it's done, it's over with, this trauma is just like insurmountable, I can't overcome that, that's exactly what's going to happen. You will not because you think not. And so coming in and talking to me now, I'm helping you understand, okay, and so now that you've shared your story, what do you want to do about it? Because it should not derail the future and the dreams that you had once when you were a child or growing up. You should still get those things. And so how do we go through this, process this, manage it, control it, and get it out of the way? There's a way. And
Yeah.
so we just have to find it, you know.
That is so, so good. That is so good because I actually like so funny. I'm a very like I've always been like very accepting of how people are. And but as I am approaching 50, which is in a few months, I'm turning 50, let me tell you, like I feel like the blinders have been taken off my eyes to behaviors. So I realized in like the past 3, 4 years that I meet people, I've met some people that are stuck in a story that happened so long ago and they're still going over and oh, and I cannot even believe it because I'm like, God is holding you back. You can't even move forward because you keep talking about this thing that happened 10, 15 years ago.
That's right.
Like, and I'm a little callous when it because in my mind I'm thinking, you got to move on. Like life goes on. Like you can't sit in the how do you work with people that are going through this loop and help to break that loop?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had to develop a lot of patience because sometimes it takes years for people to break out of that loop because it's so ingrained. They're so comfortable with the loop that change is scary. And so they'd rather sit in a place that they know than to move on to something that they don't. Some of the more difficult clients I find are the older ones because they've lived in that story and repeated that story to themselves for so many more years that they're less flexible. At first, at least, we work on it, but they're less flexible with seeing themselves in a different way, seeing their story in a different way, and finding that there is a solution there that you can achieve if you allow it. So there's that piece.
Oh my gosh, the brain is so amazing. The brain is so amazing. Guys, we have to just be so grateful that our brain is able to, like what they call it, plasticity.
Yes.
Neuroplasticity, that even if we've been thinking the same thought for 20, 30 years, if we are shown another way and we actually believe and accept it, we can eventually change and get out of that whatever we were stuck in. That is so amazing to me, because there's some people that I'm like, oh, it seems hopeless, but then there's someone like you that can help them through that. So I love that. Okay. Oh my gosh. So some of the common things are burnout, living in past situations. What are some of the, and I don't know how in depth you can go with this, but like maybe some of the techniques that you use to guide people? Because I love that you're bringing in the actual like science education for better understanding. But what are some of the other what do you call it? Some of the other practices that you may use to help people through these situations? And I'm sure nothing is a quick fix, so this will definitely take time. But I don't know if you have anything that's like you can share that's not, because I'm sure everything is so specific to each client too, each patient. So is there something you could share, or is it more?
I can tell you my style if that helps. Because how I'm talking to you is how I talk to my clients. I'm not speaking above, with a lot of intellectual language. I feel it's very important to just be clear, not to be smart. You already know that I know something when it comes to psychology, and so I don't need to prove that to you. I just need to speak to you in a way, in a language that you can receive. And so it's a conversation. I do a lot of education around the brain, just how things are working, and that it's energy jumping across synapses, and that what neurotransmitters are being activated when you are anxious, what systems are being activated, and how to calm those things down, how breathing actually helps to calm those things down. Your heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And so if your heart is beating rapidly, then that's where we need to start, is learning how to breathe to calm our heart down so that now our brain can re-engage with logic again, and problem solving, and those executive skills that get shut down when we are scared. And so there's that biological component, helping people understand their body better. I do a lot of homework with clients, where they have to test these things out. If it's conversations or setting boundaries, right? We find a place of least resistance, right? A small boundary that they can share with a person and try out this new languaging, and then come back and talk about it. How did that feel to you? And what would you change about that? And what was the result? How was it received? These things, because that's where you get the most growth, is actually doing the thing. You can have all the knowledge in the world, right? But it's kind of like reading a book about working out and then actually going to the gym. I make you go to the gym.
Oh, I love that. Having that real life scenario where you're pushing them out there, giving them what they need to go out there and practice this. And then that builds confidence, of course. That's so good.
That's
That was
right.
good.
Because
No,
underneath it all is the belief of yourself.
yeah.
How do you feel about your effectiveness to create change and for the things that you want in your life? If you don't believe that you can affect change in your life, you won't, right? And so working on empowering people to feel that I can do something. I might not be perfect at it, but you know what's not going to stop me anymore is the fear of failing. And so I'm going to try it and then, learn to get better with it in my trying as I repeatedly try this new skill on, right? So it's that piece that I really, emphasize in all the sessions is that self-empowerment piece, finding yourself again, finding your strength again.
So this is why I really am so happy that we met, because when you just said you talk to people just like this, one of my pet peeves I realize is when educated people speak to people way above like you're speaking to someone who did not go to school for what you went for, and you're using all these acronyms and all these things. And the person, I don't like when people do that to me. Like, it really grinds my gears. I'm just like, I'm educated, but I'm not educated in what you're educated in. So when
That's
you're
right.
using all these acronyms, guess what? I am no longer listening. Talk to me like a human being. And if you're so educated, you should know to talk to me, because I've had to do this. I was in IT and I used to have to break down very complex things into very basic terms, and because you want the other person to understand and not feel lost. So I love that you do that, and you're able to, I'm sure you have like the most amazing connections with your patients, because that is so key to just building a connection and people feeling comfortable and trusting and all the things that you need to get through to someone that you're trying to help. So
That's
I
right.
appreciate that so much. I love that you started with that. So
Yeah.
good. This is why I love talking to Bianca, because we just like, she has all this knowledge. When you were telling me all the stuff that you've done and your experience, I was like, what? And she has a baby face. So I'm like, what do you mean 20 years? Anyway, so just so good. Okay. So, um, like I mentioned, Bianca is one of our newest members into the Holistic Business Network. You're one of, actually, we have two mental health therapists. Our other mental health therapist works with children, in the, mainly in the Latin community, but working with children through trauma and a lot of different things. But I love that we have you, that I feel that we are surrounded. We're actually in a time in life, or what do you call it? A time, we're like in an era of where
Right.
so many people are feeling the same feelings, right?
Right.
There's a lot of anxiety about the security of your job. People are losing jobs left and right. There's a lot of insecurity about, the future of, like, I have kids. My daughter just graduated. How am I getting a call? Oh, because I turned,
Of course.
I set my timer on Do Not Disturb for 45 minutes, and that was over 45 minutes ago.
Oh,
So now
gotcha.
calls are coming in. But I feel like we're just in a time where there's so much, and so many people are feeling the anxiety. And so having someone that's a resource like you that can guide them and help them, like, not have, because all of that stress, guys, that you're going to burnout and stress and constant stress really brings inflammation to your body
Yeah.
and can result in illness and disease. So we don't want that for anyone. We want to be proactive and use resources like Bianca to help us not overwhelm our bodies, even though it's not physically, Physically, like our bodies know, our bodies are so smart, and our brains are, your body is trying to compensate for all the things you're going through. So we don't want you to be in that state for a long time. We understand there's times where it happens, but not for a long time. So Bianca, please tell people how they can connect with you, whether it's via your website or email or even social media accounts. I will be collaborating with you on this post, so they should be able to click on your name and go directly to your DM if they have a question. But
Yes.
any other page, share.
Yes, yes. So definitely connect with me on Instagram at talktobianca.com. Or well, what not .com, but on Instagram. Um, Fearless Focus Mental Health is my business name. So you can find me through Google with that, or fearlessfocustherapy.com is my website. You can message me through there. I look at that, any messages coming in every single day. So I don't miss it. I hear that as a complaint too. So my fellow therapeutic colleagues, do better with getting back to people.
Because it's almost like a 911, isn't it? Like if people are reaching
Literally.
out, they're probably at that point where they're like, I really need someone. They want to hear back from you. So that's a good point, Bianca. Yeah.
That's right. It's so hard just to reach out because they've probably gone through so much searching and doubt about who would be best to fit for them. And so if they finally make that move to reach out, it's our duty, I believe, to reach back. And even if we're not a good fit, to help them find somebody or put them in the right direction to be able to do that. Don't just kind of throw them out there in the wilderness. They need help. So so those are the ways that you can contact me. I'm open, for questions, whatever I can do within the bandwidth that I have, I will definitely help. I'm that type of person where I will not leave you hanging. I hope that we work together, but if that's not the case or our schedules don't align, then I'll definitely help you find somebody that will. So that's me.
Are you also on LinkedIn?
Yes, under Biance Solitaire is my last name, and so you can find me there too and message me there too if need be.
Okay, awesome. I am going to be downloading this and uploading it to YouTube also. So are you on YouTube?
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not. Like I keep getting feedback from the family that you should be out there and you should be talking about this stuff, and I'm like, when? But
Oh, I'm going to talk to you about some ways you can do that without
Mhm.
having to go out of your way and do anything extra. So remind me, we'll have a talk about that. But
Awesome,
this was
awesome.
so good. I love the work you're doing. I love how you're just helping. Oh, please tell them the locations where you also do virtual therapy too,
Oh
because it's
yes.
not just in Florida.
Right. It's not just in Florida. I'm licensed in Ohio. And so I can work with clients all the way over there and Washington State. So think Seattle, not DC. So yeah. So anybody in those three states, as of right now, those are where I'm licensed and I can see you virtually that way as well.
Awesome. Oh, 3 states, guys. So you have your pick.
Yeah.
Awesome. This was so good. I so appreciate you being able to come on and share this message. I think it's super timely. And please, if you're out there and you're feeling all the feels and you just need an outlet or help with getting direction and clarity, Bianca is definitely an amazing resource for sure. You could probably, if you check her page, I see some of your patients just rave about you. So I'm like, yeah, she's doing her thing. I love it. Thank you so much, Bianca.
Thank you, Michelle. I love this. I'm so happy to be part of the network and definitely, learning more about holistic practitioners that are out there that are great that I can add into, the resource lists that I have, because
Yeah.
those are the things that I share with my clients too, is how to take care of your body, mind, and spirit at the same time. So.
I love it. Yes, it is a whole ecosystem, guys. So I love that you have that mind component. Grateful for you. And I love that you're thinking like that because that's what I really love for our members to do, collaborate together and connect and refer and all the things. Love it. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day. This was a
Okay.
joy. I'm so glad we got to do this. And guys, if you need Bianca, send her a DM. If you cannot find her, send me a DM. I'll send you to her.
Absolutely. This was great, Michelle. Thank you so, so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.